Hey Felix,
Hey Sam, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well. Hey everyone.
Hi everybody.
Good.
We've had a little bit of an IT issue over here. I'm in a hotel in Bangalore, the IT capital, but unfortunately our IT was a little bit amiss in the hotel. So just about getting there. Um,
Okay. That's
uh,
a you do a live show. There's always see you're brave. I do my podcast recorded. I commend you.
yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. But it's been the last 35 minutes have been quite a scare because I've tried everything, but luckily the hotels just stepped up in time. So thanks to them, we have a show going.
Awesome.
Well, firstly, thanks very much, Felix, for being with us. It's an absolute pleasure. Are you still on your vacation? Or are you back?
No, no, I'm back. Yeah, I was on vacation for I think a week and came back. Was in Puerto Rico a couple of days ago, maybe 3, 4 days ago. I think we had a big event there, and then I'm off to Korea on Saturday.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Korea is going to be big news as well. So fantastic. But so I think we should start. We have a few people in already, and it's only fair that we have 54 participants as we speak. So fantastic. With your permission, Felix, I'm going to start. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. So good evening, everybody. And welcome back to the real state of real estate. Go exponential with Sam. I look forward to working with you closely. My name is Sam Chopra. I'm the president and country leader for EXP India. And as an introduction, my journey in real estate spans over 30 years across franchising, brokerage, and of course, several leadership roles. I've had the pleasure of serving as the past president and then president in 2015-16 of the National Association of Realtors in India. I've been the founder chairman of our local city association, Association of Property Professionals. And today I lead EXP India's growth, as I call it, EXP India 2.0. With us today is a very, very special guest, Felix Bravo, managing director of eXp International. Felix is one of the youngest and most dynamic global leaders in real estate, spearheading our expansion into 28 plus countries and inspiring thousands and thousands of agents worldwide. Felix, before we dive in, could you share a little bit about your journey and what drives you at eXp?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor to be on the show. I started my career. I always make the joke that I started my career when I was just about 10 years old, because my my family, we immigrated from Venezuela over to the United States, and my mom was a lawyer in Venezuela, and so when we moved here to Florida, to Miami, Florida, where I'm from, she didn't speak any English and wasn't going to go to law school all over again. And so she did what everybody does when they don't know what else to do with their careers, which is they become a real estate agent, right? That's usually and I love making that joke because it's true. And so
Absolutely, absolutely.
here in Florida, you can now take the real estate exam in Spanish, but at the time you couldn't. And so I picked up English pretty quickly, being a young child, going to school and all that. And so when my mom was taking the real estate exam, she kept failing it, not because she didn't know how to do it, but because it was hard for her in a language she just didn't speak. And so she sat me down one summer and was like, if you can help me pass this exam, study for this exam because you speak English, you can do whatever you want this summer. And so I, studied with her. And by the time I was 10, 11 years old, I think I could have passed the Florida real estate exam on my own. So that was kind of my initial introduction into real estate. And throughout the years growing up, my mom was an agent. And so I would help her with open houses and things like that. I started my career in the new development space, which is obviously an extremely prominent industry for you guys over there in India. Um,
Absolutely.
I started really young, so I started at 18, and I was working directly for the developers at the time. My first job was literally just they would give me a list of thousands of old leads and old contacts, and I would just sit there and call and call and call in a room all day trying to get people to come see the project. And that turned into a career in real estate. I fell in love with new development. Eventually, I was a sales director for quite a lot of new development projects. Had my own real estate teams. I started a portal for new development only projects here in Florida, which I ended up giving to the Miami Association of Realtors, which I think is the second or third largest association in the US. I worked with a couple other brands outside of EXP, mostly technology-based real estate companies, technology-backed real estate brokerages, and helped them expand throughout the US before eventually coming over to EXP. And when I came to EXP, I actually just came as an agent. I had my own real estate team. My goal was to come here and help grow my brand and my business. But I met Glenn, our founder. I met Leo, our CEO, and a couple of other people who somehow convinced me into taking on the role. And I started out helping grow as the director of growth in Florida before coming over to international. And so really excited to be here. So that's a little bit about me. I think you asked me what drives me. Was that what you asked me as well?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's I don't know. That's a very loaded question. What drives me? Quite a lot of things, to be honest. I've always been a very ambitious person, and so my goals and aspirations are I have this very very big whiteboard on. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but I have this massive whiteboard there on the side of my office that I write all of
Yes.
my goals, and for me, I think I'm just the kind of person that always wants to do more than I did previously, I guess. And so I make the joke, and I don't know how well this translates, but I always say that it's my biggest superpower is that I'm delusional. And so I think that I can do anything and I can accomplish anything, no matter how crazy of a goal it is. I think that I can do it. And that's a mindset I had from a very young age. And I bring that into EXP, and I bring that into the team as well. So those are a big part of my driving factors, and I think that has changed over time. And now one of the things that drives me the most is how can I help our agents succeed? How can I help them grow their brands and businesses, and the teams, the members on the team, how can I help them grow their country? So those are some of my more strong driving factors professionally.
Fantastic, amazing. Your story is amazing. Firstly, I've seen little kids when they're born, their parents who are realtors put on, the brand that they wear on their sleeve. They put it on a T-shirt and make them wear that. But this is literally that, 10 years old, and therefore you're probably one of the youngest real estate leaders globally. But kudos to you. I think it's outstanding.
Thank
And
you.
especially your passion, your goals and objectives, your goal and objective driven, obviously. And I say to myself also that, in fact, yesterday I got a great compliment from about 6 7 people, and one of them, in a roadshow that I'm in Bangalore currently in. So the gentleman asked me, he says, how do you have so much of passion and how do you have that spring in your feet? And I said, it's just, the if you love the business, then it's not business anymore. I
Yeah.
work is pleasure for me. So I can work 14, 15, 16 hours, 7 days a week, and I'm fresh the next morning. People say you need to, have a work-life balance. To me, it's a life balance, because there is no work, it's all pleasure. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's
I
fantastic.
sometimes it can be controversial to talk about work-life balance. I will say, um, I personally don't believe too much in work-life balance. I like your idea of life balance. I think if you have goals and aspirations, then you have to decide what you're willing to sacrifice in order to achieve those goals. And that's something that I realized pretty early on, was especially to anyone listening, if you're newer in the industry, or maybe you haven't hit the goals that you want to hit yet, and you see other people who are doing things at a higher level than you. One of the things I realized really quickly was when I was starting out, I have no experience. I have no idea what I'm doing. There are people out there who have way more knowledge than I do. But there's a lot of things that they're not willing to sacrifice that I am. So I sacrificed time, I sacrificed vacations, weekends, I sacrificed, probably probably a little bit of health in terms of exercise, sitting on a chair all day or whatever it is. But that is true. Like you need life balance. I think it comes in moments. There are moments where you go through this very uh, specific time where you're sacrificing a lot to reach your goals, and then you need to balance it out. And I think that comes in waves. But if you are searching for a world right off the gate where life is just easy and you work very little and get a ton of results, that doesn't happen right now. That happens after building your business for quite some time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very well said. Felix, what specific bold decisions helped EXP achieve such fast international growth? I, I I've been in a franchise system in the past, and it took them almost, they started I think in the 70s. So I think about 50 years or more than 50 years to reach where we've taken something like, 18 years, 17, 18 years. So
Yeah.
what exactly are those bold decisions, Glenn took, you took, Leo took, to bring us to this wonderful level? I mean, almost 90,000 agents, uh, plans to be at 50 in 50 countries by 2030. And knowing you, you'll probably do it much before that. But what's made us reach uh, this level?
That's a great question. I think there's a couple of answers, but the first one is our model, right? Our revenue share model incentivizes, gives financial incentives and financial opportunities to agents. Any agent who joins EXP has the opportunity to build a revenue share organization, whether that's bringing on, 5 or 6 people just to make an extra couple $100s a month, or whether that's you want to take this to the next level, treat it as a business, and you want to make thousands and thousands of dollars a month. And so you help us grow. And so I think because of the revenue share model, what you see at EXP is that the growth starts pretty normal, right? Like we start like India. I think it's been open 4 years, maybe, or something like that. Four,
That's
four,
right.
4 years. It's really at the very beginning stages. If you look at EXP US when it started in 2009, they didn't get to 1,500 agents for like the first 5 years, right? It took them like 5 years to get to 1,500 agents, or 6 years, something like that. And then from 1,500 to 3,000, they did that in 1 year. And then from 3,000 to 9,000, they did that in 1 year. And it just starts getting exponential. So I think that is a big part of the model, because we give the incentives that normally go to the franchise owner or the master franchise owner or the whatever it is. We give that to the agents, right? That's revenue share. That gives us a growth trajectory that's pretty impressive. And then I think the second thing is, one of the largest differences between us and a lot of the other international brands is quite truly is that we're just not a franchise, right? So when we open up EXP in India or in Colombia or in Spain, wherever we open up, it's our bank accounts, our licensing, it's us making the financial incentive with the portal cost and the CRMs and the technology, which means
Absolutely.
our agents aren't doing well, we're not doing well, right? That reflects on us. It just purely as a business perspective, we need we want to help everyone grow their business because our goals are aligned to that. And so it's different. Whereas what I've seen in a lot of countries, and I don't know if this happens in India, but what I've seen in some countries is you'll have this master franchise owner who bought the rights 20 years ago for a decent deal, and then they sell the franchise, right? They start opening up the franchise offices, people buy franchise offices. At the end of the day, um, if if the agents don't make money, if the franchise doesn't make money, that does not affect the actual brand, right? The brand has already gotten paid. They've given you everything you need. If you make money, phenomenal, great, because we get royalties. If you don't make money, well, guess what? I still got royalties on the deals you did, even if you lost money. That's different from us. So I think that alone makes it so that we're heavily invested in continuing to improve, which gives us a better trajectory for growth. And so you're absolutely right, Sam. Like the fact that you're the president of EXP India at the moment is testament to us wanting to level up EXP, right? And the fact that you're now going into 2.0 stage, just 5 years in, and you're 4 years in, and you're already saying we're going into our 2.0 version. We're going to keep getting better. We're making all these changes. So those are the decisions that have helped us grow. And then I think for us, we see international as the future of EXP. And so we've definitely made considerable investments and built up some phenomenal teams, partnered with some amazing leaders to continue to grow internationally. And we have no plans on stopping that anytime soon.
Absolutely. My thoughts resonate completely with what you said because when I came in as a master franchisee or master franchisor eventually, um, buying the rights, uh, I paid a lot of money, but I also invested a lot of money in running the business. So eventually, the master franchise owner is paying money two ways. One is, of course, paying upstream,
Yeah.
and the other is to set up the whole business. The entire risk is his because he's paid a lot of money upfront already. And for any reason, if you're unable to do the business in the right way and you collapse, the entire risk is that of the master franchise owner or the broker owner, or in that case, the agent. But I think here, this is almost a partnership, if I may say, of equals, because at EXP, at the global level, and right down to every 100% owned subsidiary, mostly across the globe, what we have is a partnership with the agents, which really is, and we will learn about it as we go ahead because he gets, not only does he get a split of the brokerage that he makes, but he's also getting a revenue share. And a lot of people in India don't know what revenue share is, but we'll go into that later. Revenue share. And he also gets equity, just like in cooperatives. In India, there are a lot of cooperatives which, people partake ownership and equity into those businesses, government run businesses or public run businesses. And we have that opportunity at EXP, but it's phenomenal, really. So today we're talking about something, more, as I call it, more global, uh, global yet local. And this is my sixth episode of this series, The Real State of Real Estate. And we're talking about bridging borders, building futures. And essentially, we'll have Felix talk a lot about EXP's global vision and India's rise. And I'm going to share a little on the India rise as well as we go along. I know that as the managing director of EXP International, Felix has obviously put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into building the brand, globalizing the brand, internationalizing the brand, building in referrals, what empowers people who are extremely local and working in their own district or as a part of their city. EXP is giving that opportunity to take them into different parts of the world which they've never even heard of and do business with people they've never met, sell properties on their behalf in the home country, as well as sell properties to people who are in India across the globe, or people who are local in their district across the globe. So, Felix, what's the biggest advantage for agents stepping into global real estate through EXP?
That's a great question. There's a lot. I think there's a lot of advantages from building your business internationally with EXP as opposed to anywhere else. So one, the day you join EXP, let's say in India, you can now grow your business in any country that EXP is in without spending an additional dollar. You don't have to buy rights to expand into those markets. You don't have to buy any sort of tools or technology. Everything. So in India, you'll have access to local portals, CRM technology, things that are specific to India. We have that in every single country, right? You go to Spain and they have local CRM, local technology, local portals. Let's say in India, you wanted to expand into the UK, right? There's a lot of cross and back and forth business. We're actually the largest estate agency in all of United Kingdom in terms of sales and listings. And in the UK, we have a completely set up value proposition with that technology. So if I was a business owner in India or wanting to build my own brand, my real estate brand under EXP, and I wanted to expand and have a team in the UK as well, all I would have to do is find people who want to be a part of my team in the UK. And like that, I'm there. I don't have to spend any additional money. And EXP is already providing those agents with all the technology, training, resources, everything they need to be successful. So you could do cross-border transactions, cross-border teams without any additional investment, which is very powerful because if you're either A, on your own, independent, when you expand to a new country, you now have to find staff to employ. You have to go get the portals. You have to go get all these things. Or if you're a part of a franchise, you have to pay the rights to function there, right? You have to buy out the rights to do it. So at EXP, you could do that just on your own with the support of our platform. What we've done is we've become more than just a brokerage. We're really a real estate platform. And whether you want to sell 10 properties a year, 10 new development properties a year, because that's the lifestyle you want, you only want to sell 10 and that's enough for you to help support your family, that's great. If you want to sell 1,000, we've built a platform that scales with you up and down, which is really important. Our real estate industry that everyone here, if you're on this call, it's because you enjoy real estate, you love it. The reality is real estate is a really hard industry. It's a really hard business, and it goes up and it goes down. And Sam, you've been in this long enough to know that there are things that happen that are outside of our control. And sometimes scaling forward is phenomenal. Scaling up and being able to build your business without inquiring any other cost is a great thing. Scaling backwards, being agile, is just as important for a business leader. If a market tanks, if something happens, if a law gets passed, whatever it is, the fact that at EXP you can roll back your expansion without losing any money or any of the investment that you had to make, that's a really powerful tool. The second thing is our referral platform is really strong because it all happens under one ecosystem. So across all 27 countries we're in, almost 90,000 agents, we are all one office, right? And we're all under one EXP. There might be different bank accounts in India that we have versus a bank account in the US, but at the end of the day, it's one bank account, it's EXP's bank account. So if you did a deal, for example, and you referred a client to the UK, let's say, under a franchise model, you'd have to reach out to a different, even if it's the same brand, you're calling an office that has nothing to do with your office, different owners, different systems, different tools, different staff, and they will treat you as such. Whereas for us, you will get treated by the UK staff as just an EXP agent, which is a very powerful tool. And you could reach out to the Sam Chopra of the UK, which is Adam Day. You can message him on Slack right now, just for being a part of EXP. You can message me, you can message Sam. That alone is really powerful because it's usually pretty hard to get to the corporate levels in franchise. They're not as accessible as we are. But there's also a lot of risk in international transactions because you're dealing with agents that you don't know them, right?
Absolutely.
You're giving them your client. You're putting your faith and trust that they're going to give you that referral fee back. And a lot of times there's not a ton of safety and security around that. And so under EXP, we've done about 90,000 referrals, I think, in the last year and a half, which is a phenomenal phenomenal achievement. And it all happens under our ecosystem. So the agreement happens under the EXP referral platform, which means we have eyes on it. It's between two EXP agents, and we can see when the deal gets closed out. So we're the ones who pay out both agents in different countries. And when the deal happens, we can pay both parties out, even if they're across the world at the same time, because it's not like we have to send the money to one corporate office, do the exchanges, split it up. No. Again, it's all one EXP ecosystem. So we can pay you out of the UK account and the India account at the same time, and we'll do all the accounting on the back end.
Absolutely. And I think that's a huge advantage. It's not only the brokerage that an agent may or may not get because he doesn't know the agent on the other side. It's also if the deal goes sour, or if the agent on the other side does not give as much respect to your client and his deal, then you might lose the client for life.
Yeah.
And it might, a client that you've honed for so long, you've looked after him, you've done several deals, you send him overseas because his son is, probably in the US on a H-1B, and he wants to buy a property. And the father says, I'm going to send the money and I'm going to tell my most trusted agent over here in India to help buy a property there. And if that agent is not known to you on the other side and he messes it up, you lose a client for life as well. So at EXP, the skin is in the game for both sides because there are managing brokers on both sides protecting interest of their own agents as well as of the company and its image and goodwill. I think that's a huge benefit that we provide, which almost nobody in the world that I know of gives.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a really great point. The other thing is you can search for the different agents that we have. If you want to do, if it's a luxury transaction, we have luxury agents. If it's a commercial transaction, if it's a new development transaction, you could see the specialties from our agents. You could even reach out to the staff of that country and say, hey, who do you recommend? Who's someone who's familiar with international transactions, who understands the needs of my clients, right? Maybe they want to invest in the UK because they want to live there. I need an agent who can explain to them what the immigration process is, legal process is to own property as a foreign investor, all these things. So yeah, we have the best setup for it, and I think it puts you in a position where you're successful. And what I've always told agents and what I've learned the hard way is that our job isn't always, especially at first, it's not to know everything, because it's impossible for you to know everything. It's to be able to find out anything quickly with other professionals. So you want to be seen as like the smartest person in the room. You want to be seen as the professional agent in your market. Be the person who can, if someone asks you a question about an industrial property, you have no idea about commercial or industrial properties, instead of making up an answer, just say, hey, that's a great question. I actually know one of the top in commercial agents in X area, and I will connect them with you and we can get all your questions answered. That is a much more powerful talk track for your buyers and builds much more trust than if you try to just make things up along the way. So yeah, great point.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a very good explanation. Thanks. So we'll go to the next bit. I always talk about, is EXP for me? And that's, a general question which we'd ask everybody. But I also have a question, why EXP? And I get asked that a lot, and I have answers obviously for all of them. But just to give you everybody a perspective so that they have a background, traditional brokerages that are in the market, of course, we've spoken about it, they have high overheads. They're essentially silos working in that local market, and they have limited reach outside of their circle of influence. When it comes to franchises, we've spoken about it, they have fees, they have territories. You can't go outside those territories, while you can, at EXP, you can go into any territory. You can be situated in a particular city or in a colony in a city and yet work the entire world. If you're an independent, that means you're an individual not working with a franchise or a brand, then of course you don't have a global network and you have limited resources, skilling, training, platform, applications. There's so many things we talk about. While at EXP, because it's cloud-based, you can work from anywhere at any point of time, and it is therefore borderless. And we say that it is agent first and agent owned. So that's a huge difference. While when you look at EXP, if you're an independent agent, I give you an opportunity to, or when I say I'm sorry, EXP gives you the opportunity to get a global reach. You get a higher income. If you're a very small broker, you have the opportunity of scaling to whatever heights, because we have a system of having a downline of an array of people that you can build, and you can strategically appoint a downline or be a sponsor to an agent in cities and localities and colonies where you want to work, and even in the kind of verticals that you want to go into. And you don't have any overheads because they actually work with you and you get to partake in their revenue and their success. Now, if you are working with a developer, then you have, as an example, you're working with a developer, the developers, and you're a salesperson or you're part of the channel management with them. You can have direct mandates with us and you can go global with those properties. If you're working with one of the large international property consulting companies and you're an employee there, you have an opportunity of both entrepreneurship and ownership. So essentially, laying the grounds for this, Felix, why are agents globally choosing EXP over traditional and franchise models? I know you said a little bit about it, but if you can emphasize a bit, I'd be grateful.
Yeah, I think it depends what kind of agent you are, where you are in your career, what your goals are. But I think the main challenges that we have tackled internationally, that we haven't really talked about today yet, but one of them is helping to professionalize the industry across the world, right? So there's a lot of markets out there that are very informal, that have a lack of rules, regulations, and what that causes is a lot of people who call themselves real estate agents, but they're not true professionals. And that ends up giving not only agents a bad reputation, but it builds a distrust with the clients. And the one thing that is true around the world is that for someone buying a house or a home, 99% of the time, that is the biggest decision they will ever make in their entire life, financially and emotionally. And we have the responsibility of helping them through that process. And so choosing a brand that helps support those goals and it puts you in a position that surrounds you in a community and culture of other people who are also professionals, who are treating it as a business, who have goals, dreams, and aspirations, will put you in a place where you can then be seen as your local in-market expert. The second thing is, we're not here, you know, international real estate outside of North America is traditionally driven by franchises, which put you in a position where you work for the brand instead of the brand working for you. And that is something that I think we have really focused on, is creating a platform that works for you. You are not coming to EXP to work for EXP. You are coming so that you could leverage the platform and we could work for you to help you reach your goals and your, you know, whatever you want to build with your business. And so that's why we put your branding first. Yes, EXP's branding it's co-branded, right? You have the Felix Bravo group powered by EXP because that's the back-end platform, or that's the real estate brokerage, but we put you first always. And so I think that what agents have seen is that they're tired of traditional models that take a lot of their commissions and a lot of their split for very little in return, that don't offer retirement options such as revenue share and equity, right? Most agents, the day you stop selling houses is the day you stop making any money. And you know, if anything happens in your business, you might have no more income. So if you're going to do that, why not do it at a platform that is going to give you opportunities to organically nurture your business and organically develop passive income opportunities based off what you're already doing, whether it's through earning stock just for selling homes or building a revenue share. So those are some of the main reasons that I think agents are joining us internationally outside of what we've already talked about.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Felix. Well, the best part of the business, and I'd say one of the best parts, is compensation and incentives. In India, we have a commission split of 75-25, and it's capped at only 4 million rupees, which in Felix in India, 10 million, I'm sorry, 1 million is equal to 10 lakhs, LACS. So that's the, we don't say millions and billions, we say lakhs and crores. So there's a difference, you know, for the audience, a lot of the audience are Indian. So therefore 4 million is exactly 40 lakhs. And as a capped agent, you know, you cap it 40 lakhs or 4 million. After that, 100% of whatever you earn is yours. There's nothing that is actually taken away from you. There's nothing hidden in that. And at EXP, agents don't just earn commissions, they actually build equity in the entire business. Now, what is unique is that our diaspora, the Indian diaspora, is of about 30 million, which is really 300 lakhs or 3 crores, you know, for the audience, 30 million non-resident Indians or persons of Indian origin worldwide. So if I may say, Felix, globally, how has EXP's transparent model from fair commissions and revenue share to agent ownership and global collaboration changed the careers of agents? And where does India fit into the bigger vision of things that we are setting up?
Yeah, I think our model from day one was built to empower the agents. Our goal is to build the most competitive, or we have built the most competitive business model around the globe, where we, you know, it's a capped model. You can get up to 96% commission, right? While still getting marketing tools, lead generation, CRMs, training, et cetera, all the staff, everything you need. Plus, on top of that, we have built this model with the idea that agents should have something in their business outside of just selling homes that drives revenue. So you can earn stock, you can earn revenue share, and you really become an owner in the business. And India as a whole is such a obviously one of the largest markets in the world in terms of just population, people, GDP, et cetera. And I think for us, what we've seen in India is there is so much fantastic opportunity, specifically with the development sector. There is so much new development happening there. There's so many investors, so much money coming in and out of India at the moment. There's a lot of Indian buyers who purchase in the United States, who purchase around the world, but likewise, there's a lot of investors who purchase in India as well. And so when we looked at expanding there, we saw it as not a short-term investment, but this is setting us up for the future of EXP. I think one day in India, we can have 20, 30, 40,000 agents just in India alone, right? EXP will be here 10, 15 years from now. So you are at the beginning stages of EXP India. And whether it's had highs or lows now, the one thing I can guarantee you is 10, 15 years from now, we will still be here. There will be agents who have built revenue share, who have built a lot of equity in the business. And so for us as a larger portion of our market, I think that India is not only an incredibly large market that we see as a potential cornerstone of EXP, but it's also a country that can allow us then to expand into other markets, right? You have Nepal and Bangladesh and then going
Sri
further
Lanka.
out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thailand, you have Thailand, you have Malaysia, you have Singapore, and of course we're going to South Korea and we're going to Japan and all the other countries. We're there all the way up to Australia and New Zealand. But the opportunities are immense, and I think India is really the stepping stone to the rest of the world. This side of this side of the the developed side of the world. So after Europe, you have a little bit of the Middle East and then Asia, and India sits prime right in the center with maybe about a 4-hour flight on either direction. You touch most of Asia and Middle East and Africa. So great opportunity for all of us. I think I believe in the vision that we should be between 30 to 40,000 in the next 8 to 10 years. I think we have it in us to build that number. And I tell my team that I see no reason why we can't be the largest country outside of North America in terms of size over the next 5 to 7 years. So, it's if you don't believe in something, then you'll never achieve it. So, dream, but also do the dream.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, no, fantastic. So, just looking at what we've got on the slide, this is essentially what we talk about. We talk about the commission. I'm just reiterating that the commission split is 75-25. You stop paying anything after you reach 4 million rupees or 40 lakhs of rupees. And once you hit a cap of, once you reach 2 crores, then which is 20 million rupees, then you actually you pay nothing because the company gives that money back, and we'll talk about it as we go along in the during this entire conversation. So the next part is even more exciting than the basic compensation and incentives. This is the second part of what you earn out of the business, and as Felix mentioned, that this is a part of a retirement, benefits or retirement income. In India, you have PF, which is Provident Fund. We have ESI, which is Employee State Insurance. We have gratuity and so on and so forth. But unfortunately, that is for employees and not for entrepreneurs. And we are almost like corporate entrepreneurs because we follow a corporate process, and we're all entrepreneurs in our mind and heart and soul. So we don't have PF, ESI, and gratuity, but at EXP, you have something called the revenue share. And I'm going to ask Felix to tell us more about it, because it is about rewarding leadership and not just about sales. And leadership obviously comes from a lot of hard work, strategy, and you've got to be driven towards being passionate about earning money.
Yeah.
Over to you, Felix, on that.
Yeah. So to give you guys a context around why revenue share was created, one of the biggest challenges that Glenn Sanford, our founder, noticed, and I said it before, but I'll say it again, early on, right, when he was starting EXP, the reason he started the company was because, again, the day real estate agents stopped selling homes is the day they stopped making money. And so he was a part of other big brands at the time. And what he realized was the more he grew his business under these brands, the more that franchise owner or whatever it is earned from it, or the CEO of the company earned from him building his team, et cetera. And so he thought to himself, well, what if we built a company that gave the incentives that normally go to the CEO or to the owner, but we gave that to the actual agents who are building their business and building their brand. And that's when revenue share came from. So what we do at EXP in India specifically is we give 10% of the GCI of any commission that agents are paying into their cap. We give that back to the agents in form of revenue share. Another easy way to think about it is 40% of every single dollar that we earn in India, we give back through commissions, we give back in revenue share. Last year, we paid out 200 and almost, I think, $235 million in revenue share to our agents.
Wow, outstanding.
$235 million was split in between, 80 something thousand agents. Some got a lot, some got very little, some got none because they haven't attracted anybody. But that could give you an idea of how this could change your life. And so really simple, you'll see there's 7 tiers, right? So if an agent does a deal, we take 10% of that GCI, and that gets split between the 7 tiers. So you can get really complicated on revenue share, but the easy thing to understand is that as you help people come to EXP, as you attract agents to EXP, either for your team or not, in India or anywhere else in the world, when they do deals that they pay into EXP, EXP will grab some of that commission. It's not like they're paying you directly. They're paying EXP for everything they get, and EXP will redistribute it out in revenue shares. And so there's 7 tiers to it, so you could help build teams, brands, organizations. This is why we've become one of the leading brands in terms of not just in sales, but also for real estate training and coaches, because coaches like a platform where they could help give training away at low cost or for free and help build their brands. And so you'll see that if you attract someone to EXP, or if they join under you, they'll be in your tier 1. If that person brings someone on in your tier 2, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's a really easy way of explaining EXP and revenue share. But there are people at this company who earn an extra $400 or $500 a year, right, or a month, sorry, just from bringing 3-4 people a year to EXP. And if you've been a part of other brands, I can guarantee you that you have accidentally attracted someone to that brand, right? As an agent, we meet other agents, we meet friends, family who get their license, and then they'll ask you, hey, why are you a part of EXP? Well, why are you there? Should I join EXP also? And you'll say, yeah, of course. Here are all the things you get. Come to EXP. And that'll happen organically. No other brand in the world pays you the way we do for what you're getting. Most brands give you like a Starbucks gift card or something if you even do anything near to this, and that's if you're lucky. Whereas we give you a hard-earned percentage of the revenue. So that's why this explains why we're a virtual model. The reason we don't have these massive brick and mortars is because 40% of all the revenue we get, we give back to the agents. And so in order to sustain a model like that, we had to cut some of the largest costs that existed back in 2009, which was brick and mortar large offices. And that's why we've created a virtual brokerage and a virtual model, which has aged really well because the world continues to get more virtual anyways. And so we are putting you at the forefront of how to build your business virtually while giving you revenue share. Every single tier will have different payout percentages. So you'll earn differently for someone on your 2nd tier versus your 7th or your 1st or your 3rd. But at the end of the day, bring people to EXP, you will earn rev share from that if they bring other people. Now, the important thing to note, we are above all a real estate brokerage with the focus on helping you sell more homes. And what we want to do is work with top professionals who are productive agents building their business. If nobody sells a single house, there is no revenue share. So if you're looking at this and saying, well, I'll join EXP and I'll just recruit anybody who wants to be a real estate agent and I could earn rev share, you won't. Because you won't be bringing on top professionals, productive agents who are coming in and building their business. That's why, we have some of the requirements we have, et cetera, but we reward you for helping the brand grow.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Felix, what's very important to highlight to our guests over here that this entire payout is tech driven. So there's no manual intervention. And when the money comes in, it goes out seamlessly to everybody on the designated percentages. So it's absolutely clean, kosher. There's no confusion, and there's no variance or bias in this entire process. So I think this is a great business opportunity to earn revenue share, because this revenue share also stays with you and after you with your family. Now, that's again a huge thing. Felix, if you could just give a little bit of highlight on how that happens.
Yeah, so revenue share, again, is a phenomenal tool. If you're going to be if you are going to be in real estate for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, this is an opportunity to build an additional income that you can have in perpetuity forever. As long as you don't leave eXp, you will continue to earn your revenue share. So even into your retirement, you could continue to earn revenue share. But more importantly, one of the hardest parts for us as agents is we tend to not really leave behind a ton, right? When we leave this world. And there's one thing guaranteed in this world, and that is taxes and death, unfortunately. So revenue share gives you an opportunity to leave something behind for your family. If you build revenue share over the next 10, 15 years, your revenue share is inheritable by your family. So if you think about bringing 2 or 3, 4 people a year over the next 10 years, what could that mean for you and your family? What can an extra $300, $400 a month do for you right now? What can an extra 4,000 or 5,000 a month do for you, 3, 4 years from now, and so on and so forth? And you can leave this behind to your family will inherit it. So if something happens to you, and we've had it, unfortunately, where agents, of course, pass away, their family members fill in that position. Whenever anyone leaves eXp, whether it's by their own choice or not, eXp does not then take that money. So if you've built 7 tiers and someone leaves on your 4th tier, that money does not go to eXp. It continues to get redistributed in the revenue share pool. So this is a phenomenal opportunity for you to build something that not only could change your life, but change the life of your family.
Absolutely. This is such a phenomenal benefit, unheard of in any organization. And I want to share this with you, that in one of our podcasts, probably the third or the fourth podcast episode that we had an EXP, prominent EXP agent, Tom Turong, there.
Yeah.
And I asked him this question. I said, Tom, what's your return on investment? You spend approximately $80 every month towards your cloud fees. So what do you get out of this in terms of your revenue share? So he says, irrespective of what work I do and what transactions I do, I make about $50,000 a month. And I was blown off. $50,000. Actually, people or everybody asked him, how and why and what. And he only has 83 people, 83 agents in his first level. But he chose the right people. He chose people that would deliver and who were serious to do transactions. He probably, I'm guessing, mentored, guided them, helped them out.
Yeah.
And over a period of time, he's got 1,400 agents under him.
Wow.
Now, this may not happen to everybody, may happen to a few people, and there could be outliers. But the fact of the matter is, whether you get 2 agents a year, 3 agents, 4 agents, if you're consistent and you're able to identify good people who are like-minded like yourself and grow business, you have an opportunity to get substantial revenue. It may not be as high as that. Even if it's a tenth of that, $5,000 a month doesn't hurt anybody. And especially if it becomes retirement benefits or legacy for your children or your loved ones, that's a great opportunity for us to pass on.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, well, the next, I'm going to talk a little bit about what eXp is doing in India. We have this, as I call it, the eXp 2.0. We have done, of course, a lot of business, but over the last 5 months, we've been able to do, I'd say, over 100 transactions, podcasts, road shows, generate a lot of revenue, but get also a lot of people onboarded. We have from September to December, the next 4 months, we're talking about more road shows. I'm on my fourth one this month. Literally like a traveling salesman, going from one place to the other. But it's a lot of fun because you meet a lot of our existing agents. I meet a lot of developers who are working with our agents or want to work with our agents. I'm meeting with a lot of prospects. We're talking about, why EXP and what's in it for them. And my belief is that in the next 5 months, we should have, or 4 months, we should have another 300 agents and at least 300 transactions coming up in this period. So we're also instilling what I call it as the HIT philosophy, which I was telling everybody. I said, I'm sure Glenn and Felix and Leo and everybody else also has the similar philosophy, but this is something which I've had for the last 35 years, imbibed it, run it in all the companies that I've been in. And I call it the HIT philosophy, which means that, if you want to be a part of EXP, then honesty, integrity, and transparency is something which must be the qualities that you have ingrained in yourself, besides anything else that you have. You have skill, you have will, everything else, but this is something extremely important. So, Felix, a question, or maybe, let me say that we have over a period reached a level where we have started gaining our agents' trust. We've started gaining our staff's dedication, and
Yeah.
clients are now looking at us to give exclusive mandates versus just fee letters in the past. All that is the change that we're bringing in slowly, and of course, there's a lot of stuff that has happened in the past. We've been able to build or generate a lot of uh, respect uh, within the agents, because I saw, agents are, as far as I'm concerned, business partners. So we've tried to build that. We built an honor ladder where we grade people and build them up the ladder as ambassadors, associates, ambassadors, partners, etc., as they move along. And of course, this is only by honorary designation, not by the ICA, etc. So that that's very clear. But we've also been doing a lot of uh, hand holding, if I may say, in terms of helping them do personal promotion, um, you know, helping them understand the importance of social media. And that's something which I think every agent, every business partner of ours, or even otherwise, must spend some time, some resources, possibly some money as well, in promoting on social media themselves and the properties that they are listing. Because at the end of the day, this business is a contact sport. It's not
Yep.
a game that you play yourself. It's not solitaire. You have to have another agent on the other side to do business. If you're a buyer's representative, you need a seller. If you and his representative, and vice versa. So I think that's something which we're slowly bringing in, and that's what EXP 2.0 is really all about.
Absolutely.
So, a little more about our roadmap. Like I mentioned, we've done 4 road shows. There's another one for all of you who are based out of Mumbai. We have events coming up in Mumbai. Um, so, looking forward to seeing the Mumbaikars and all those that are in Maharashtra. We had a very successful one very near you in Pune. So, I'm making a trip to Birmingham, actually leaving in another I think 7 hours or 8 hours. I go to Birmingham for a huge event that Europe and India are participating in. It's called A Place in the Sun. And I then come back just in time for the Mumbai show. Between in the last 30 days or less than 30 days, if you see the first line, it says Delhi, Hyderabad, Pune, Bangalore, Mumbai, and of course, Birmingham and London thrown in between. 5 domestic road shows, 1 international road show, and then we're planning to do some more um, in the US. So in October we have the EXP Con in Miami, and we're attending that. And I'm hoping that a few developers join me, and I'm going to take them and our agents to various other cities on the East Coast and close it in Chicago and come back to India, hopefully helping Indian agents socialize with EXP agents of Indian origin in the US and start doing business with them, have these developers, properties being sold by uh, agents across the US. And then we do another trip on the backdrop of the NER Next, which is in Houston in November. So there are a lot of trips which are happening. And it is my belief that if you join EXP, you have an opportunity to build your downline not only through your own references, but also through our podcasts, through our road shows, whether domestic or international, and also do transactions with developers. We had developers coming in Delhi. There were about 9, 10 developers in Delhi. There were 4, 5 in Hyderabad. Pune had about 6, 7 of them. Bangalore had about 4, 5 yesterday. And Mumbai, again, we're looking at about 4, 5 developers come in. So you tend to meet up with the developers, you meet up with their relationship managers. We try and get you a higher slab in terms of the brokerage because we consolidate under one brokerage the entire business. So we try and come up to their highest, or if not highest, almost highest slabs. And your interaction with them, building relationship with them over there, and also on the trips that you make with us to these cities, there are huge opportunities to build business, build relationships, and actually build your downline in terms of being a sponsor to somebody, and building your teams over a period of time. So that's pretty much what we're doing. Um, I'm going to take you to the next slide to give you a little bit on what we are doing at EXP. A small 30, maybe a 3-minute story. I don't know if you can hear this. I don't hear volume, but just to give you an idea, this is what we're doing. And so there's a lot of stuff on the podcasts. These are the podcasts that we've done over a period of time. This is Video Savvy, then Ravi, who's got a phenomenal property platform. Then we had Jason, Tom, who we were talking about, and Natalie, who's in Chicago. And then we're doing these EXP Connects. So this is Pune, there's Delhi, then Pune. And yeah, this one is, so this is the number of people that come in, meet up with us. We hope you'll come and meet us this is Hyderabad. Hope that you come and meet us in Mumbai. This one is Bangalore, just yesterday. And yeah, so this is yesterday. You can see people laughing, smiling. So quite a happy occasion. And then we have this thing which is coming up called the Expo Hall. I'll give you a brief on this before we move to the next. But what is phenomenal is I just got a message, by the way, before I go ahead. Felix, you've been a lucky charm for India. We are I'm sitting in a hotel where, I'm in a business center at the ITC Gardenia in Bangalore. And there was the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, RICS, has a South Asia Awards today. And while we're speaking, our entire team of Bangalore is actually there because we were nominated as one of the contestants. So we were shortlisted as one of the nominees. I think they had 3, 4 nominees for a particular award. And I've just been given a message which says, we won the award, Real Estate Agency Team Award. So congratulations to everybody. The timing is perfect, phenomenal. And Felix, like I said, you've been a lucky charm for us. So
well, thank you. That's incredible. No, congratulations to all the agents. That's great timing. I'll take it all day.
Absolutely. Nawaz is our territory manager in Bangalore. He just came back and gave me this. So this is outstanding. I told him, in case we win something, let us know if it comes during this period. And yeah, so he's come back. Thanks, Nawaz.
That's incredible. Well, congratulations. First of many, many, many awards. So I have no doubt that we're going to continue to do incredible things under your leadership. Our territory managers are incredible agents. Very excited for India 2.0.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we are towards the end of our our episode. So firstly, Felix, thanks very much for sharing your vision with us. Um, India is absolutely proud to be a part of your journey, and my colleagues who are on this show, prospects, those who are part of the industry, my colleagues in the industry. Um, at EXP, I have to say your growth is exponential, your reach is global, and your success is unstoppable. So with that, I'd like to say that in case you want to reach out to us, there's a QR code on the right. It is the way you connect with us. So it goes to our website. On our website, we have something called EXP Explained. We have a deck or an info mem about EXP and how you can participate with us, how you can build or enhance your career. It also has both a video as well as a deck, so you can look at the video. There are a lot of things which may be unanswered today, but you can take those, go through it and understand that. On the left is something which I, as a podcaster, my QR code. It has my LinkedIn, it has my Facebook, Instagram, and my email ID. If you have any questions that are unanswered, feel free to call me up, dial me in through an email, or send me a message on social media, or very simply call up the EXP India Connect, which is right there in the in the system over here. Um, but we'd be happy to take questions. If anybody has any questions, please let me know and let Felix know. We'd love to answer anything briefly. We are actually running out of time, so I don't want to go beyond, take so much of Felix's time. But nevertheless, if you have some quick questions, Felix, are you okay to answer them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, okay. So over to
I think Onkar has a question of how he can join EXP.
okay. Yeah, so I'm into sales and I have interest in real estate. How can I join EXP? Well, we have something called an onboarding team. So if you reach out to the telephone number below or my email ID, either way, I'll connect you or they'll connect you to the onboarding team. Speak to them, spend some time on understanding us. We will ask you relevant questions. As a process, I always tell people EXP is not for everybody and everybody is not for EXP. Um, I have this 15-minute discovery session that I do with every agent that joins in because I want to feel connected with the agent. I want to understand why you want to join the business. How are you going to benefit? And can we genuinely help you? If I feel that we can't help you grow, then we would probably not want you to come in, and we'll tell you why exactly. So to be very frank, fantastic. So by the way, they've just come back with the award as well. You may not be able to see it, I think, on the screen, but
Yeah, you can see it a
whatever.
little bit sometimes. Yeah, that's awesome. That's incredible.
Okay, we'll put it on social media tomorrow or tonight. Yeah. So anyway, I essentially that 15 minutes comes in post your your discussion with the onboarding team, and we'd love to give the opportunity to everybody to join in, as many people as we can. But of course, we've got to fit, like and this is like a family. Everybody needs to fit in and not be competing. We're collaborators, we're not competitors with each other. I think that's very important. We want to see you spend time on this business and not be part-time to the extent that you can't spend time on the business, because there's a lot of time, money, resources, energy that goes into building the platform, building the business, building the ecosystem. So we'd like you to be fully engaged and invested in the business. Any other immediate questions? I think Felix is, a very busy guy. Let me put it this way. So very tough to get hold of him. If you have questions, I think I should keep shut and let him talk. He's the right person to give you answers because he's right at the top. I think Glenn, Leo, and I mean, they have each other's ears, so you might as well. And you can rewrite them because I see a lot of questions, and scrolling them, I am not sure if I'd be able to pick up all of them. I see one more, and maybe Felix, you could answer this. This is KNR, real estate business coach. I help realtors, leaders, and builders to transform their business professional, successful, and scalable. How can I collaborate with EXP?
Yeah, you're in a great position to help grow the brand and grow the business. Most real estate coaches, we've attracted some of the top real estate coaches in the industry for the sole reason that right now agents pay you for your time, right? Whether it's for your courses or to be a part of a mastermind, or maybe they pay top dollar for a private session with you, right? A one-on-one or something like that. So you're helping these agents grow their business, consulting them. But as they go and build it and close transactions, you're not earning anything out of that. So a more sustainable business model for you is to, yes, continue to offer your services to any broker at any brokerage under your structure, but now under the EXP platform, agents who join EXP because of you, who join under you, can now have access to some of your training, courses, tools, technology without having to pay any additional costs. Maybe you offer it to them for free, right? A certain level of support for free. And you have a financial incentive of helping them grow their business because as they sell homes, you will earn revenue share. So you can grow a more sustainable business that doesn't always require you to be the one to go out and get clients, because now you're building a revenue share of agents that are joining EXP for everything EXP offers, joining under you for all the training and resources you give. And when they sell homes, they pay a commission to EXP. EXP will give you a percentage of that. But they also now have the incentive to grow your business, right? Now they could say, hey guys, do you want to earn some of the, or learn from one of the top coaches in the industry, or do you want to have access to this training? Anyone who joins under them is under your 7 lines. So now they can build revenue share and bring people in to your coaching platforms under EXP. And when they sell homes, you earn as well. So it's a really strong value proposition. I implore you to at least look at it, maybe set some time with Sam to connect and chat, because there's definitely more services you can now offer your agents in a partnership with EXP, but also a much better payout and earnings for you as well.
Absolutely. Happy to reach out to me, and happy to connect and spend some time with you. And whichever city you are in, let's go on a Zoom call, let's talk, and let's over a period of time, let's try and meet up also. I'm going to take just one or two more questions. I have, okay, of course, how can I join you? Already said, we've got the answer. Okay, I think more or less most of the questions have been answered. I'm sorry if we've missed any question. You're free to ask us right now in the chat immediately, or else let's do this, or you can send me an email and I'd be happy to answer it. So I think nobody's typing. So, hey, Felix, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you taking out an hour for us, hour and more actually for us. And I know you've literally come back a couple of days ago. You must be tired and having a lot of emails, a lot of stuff to answer, and yet you've taken this time out. Really, truly appreciate the whole of EXP India, and I'm sure the audience at this podcast really appreciate what you've done. Look forward to seeing you in Miami very soon, and thank you once again. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, team. Thank you to everyone who joined. Congratulations on the award, and we'll see you guys very soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, guys.